Hey everyone, welcome to Tent Talk, the Farmers Market podcast. This podcast is all about farmers markets, how to increase your market business success while providing people with fresh food. Farmers markets are essential. Whether you're a farmers market manager or a small farmer or food maker selling at farmers markets, you have found just the right podcast. This week we're chatting with Denise Alvarez, Gilbert, Arizona farmers market artisan and owner of Click Bloom, about standing out at the market by creating magic moments with customers and other market vendors. Hey everyone, I'm one of your hosts, Bridget Myers. I'm a longtime farmers market manager and education coordinator at Farmers Market Pros.
And I'm Kat Fields-White, Director of San Diego Markets, still an active farmers market manager and consultant, founder of Farmers Market Pros, and host of Intense, the Farmers Market Conference, and the Farmers Market Pros community.
And I'm Justine Marzoni-Mead, Tent Talk producer, marketing director for Farmers Market Pros, and logistics coordinator for Intense, the Farmers Market Conference, coming right up March 7th,
6th, 7th, and 8th.
6th, 7th, and 8th.
You're blocking.
You're blocking it already?
It's not the time to
6th,
stress.
7th, and 8th.
We're still happy
We
about
have
it being
plenty
the
of
visit.
time.
The most magical time of the year.
That's right. 6th, 7th, and 8th. Somebody verify that.
I know what it is.
Okay,
I'm
then.
keeping track, guys. Don't worry.
All right, Bridget's in charge.
Okay. Today's episode of Tent Talk, the Farmers Market podcast, is supported by Square, helping small farmers, food makers, crafters, and market managers increase their incomes by making it easy to process credit and debit card sales on the street and in the tents. We use Square ourselves, both for collecting donations for shopping bags and T-shirts at our market info booths and for invoicing farmers and vendors online for their space fees. The income you generate appears promptly in your bank account without spending time or money on end-of-day closeouts. Square's user-friendly system makes it easy to track inventory and payroll and generate clear reports. For more information on reducing stress and increasing your income with Square, click their logo on the resource page at farmersmarketpros.com.
Welcome back to Tent Talk, everyone. Today, our guest is Denise, Arizona farmers market vendor, artist, photographer, and owner of Click Bloom, a desert-inspired gift company. An enthusiastic gift giver, in 2020, Denise paired her love of gift giving with her passion for storytelling to launch Click Bloom. At farmers markets, Denise has built a pop-up shop inspired by Phoenix landmarks that hold stories and memories for fellow desert dwellers, enchanting market customers and her fellow vendors. Welcome to Tent Talk, Denise.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm a really big fan.
Oh, longtime fan, first-time caller. I'm so excited to have you on the podcast.
We love that when we get a regular listener that joins us.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And Kat and I are Arizonans, so we always like to have fellow Arizonans.
You're real Zonies, and then I'm a Marzoni.
Oh, you're a Marzoni.
Ta-ta.
That's true.
I'm a Zoni of the sea.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was a Zoni that kept traveling to San Diego until I just forgot to go back.
And I was like, hey, what about me? But I love Arizona. I was just there. I'm there very often. So I'm excited to talk to you, Denise. We'll just start with, if you want to tell us a little bit about your personal, professional background and what led you to launch Click Bloom.
Which is such a cute name.
So cute.
Thank you. Yeah, so it came from my photography background. So I've been a photographer for over a decade. And in the spring of 2019, I created a photo series of flat lays, like flat lay photography. And they had like vintage cameras surrounded by like fresh flowers. And I named the project Click Bloom, click like a camera, bloom like flowers. And people started asking me if they could buy prints. So I put them on Etsy and no one bought them. So several months later, I'm looking through just randomly like my own enamel pin collection. I collect pins. And I thought somebody should make an enamel pin of the Gilbert Water Tower, which is like this iconic and really loved town landmark where I live. And I thought I could make that. And so I did, and I put that on Etsy, and wouldn't you know, those started selling. And not only did they start selling, but like stores wanted to carry them. Even the town reached out to me and asked if they could get them for their centennial, which was in 2020. And best of all, people started telling us their own stories from the water tower. So I started to think like, maybe that's it. Maybe we create from places that hold stories and memories for people in Phoenix.
Oh, what a great idea.
I love that. I think that's so true. I feel like when I see that kind of stuff, it kind of just like seeing the water tower in Gilbert. Like when I go there, I'm like, oh, I live like I know where I am, and it feels like a memory or something. So that's such a great idea. So you were selling on Etsy, and you offer quite a variety of items, right? So you have the pins, and then what other items do you sell?
So I would say we're basically a gift shop. We do enamel pins, we do stickers, we do little key tags that are in the shape of like those old motel keys. We do clay earrings. And then this year we started doing letterpress cards, and we print our cards on a 123-year-old printing press that we got. And then, like I said, all of our items are kind of based on local landmarks from the Phoenix Valley. So I'm also a really passionate gift giver. So when I create for my shop, I try to make very giftable items that are meaningful, but also not terribly expensive. And I think a lot of people appreciate that.
That's awesome. What a great business to start.
Slight indulgences.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's just kind of like when you're walking through a store and you're like, ooh, this would be perfect for somebody. Or like I do this a lot when I'm buying cards. Like it's not even this person's birthday, but I know like in 4 months I'll need a card. And so I just kind of like have a stack in my desk that I hold on to.
Yeah, it sounds like that shop is perfect for that kind of thing. So you were listing your items on Etsy and you sell online. And then how did you decide to add farmers markets as a revenue stream for your business and start selling at markets?
Yeah, so shortly after creating the pin of the water tower, I also partnered with a watercolor artist. Her name is Denise Blackburn. She's out of New Mexico, and I was familiar with her work from when I photographed weddings. She would do like these really beautiful wedding invitations, and so together we created like a watercolor map of downtown Gilbert. And it came out so beautifully. And so I reached out to a local farm store and I asked if they would be interested in carrying those two items. And they replied and they told me that they didn't have the space, but they invited me to join their farm nights, which was once a week. And so I did. We set up this table that was like the size of a kitchen tile. It was so tiny. And we did about 5 markets before the pandemic hit. And then we didn't rejoin markets again until the following summer when we joined the Gilbert Farmers Market, which is like one of our favorite places now.
Cool.
We love that market.
Yeah, we love it too.
Yeah, and isn't that where Benny Blanco?
Yeah, Benny
was?
Christopher's there.
Christopher.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a hoot. So how many markets are you at now? Are you just only at the Gilbert Market, or have you added other ones on?
The Gilbert Market has been our most consistent market for sure. We're there every week. We love it. We just joined Uptown Farmers Market, which has been really exciting for us because we're fans of that market. So we're at Gilbert most Saturday mornings. Uptown, we're still trying to figure out, we've only done a handful, so we don't have like a consistent schedule. But we also enjoy like seasonal markets. So we have a big season coming up.
When you are thinking about your holiday pop-ups, how do you kind of like balance those with your markets and kind of keep everything like with your inventory straight and make sure that you have enough to sell on a Saturday farmer's market, but then also for a holiday market?
So managing inventory is tricky. It is really tricky. Last season was our first official market season. Because we launched in 2020 and then we didn't do that whole year. And then we rejoined the following summer, 2021. And then, so last season was kind of like our learning season. And we very much learned that and I think a lot of vendors do this here, especially where the summers are so brutal, that we bulk up our inventory in the summer and then use the fall and winter to sell. And then it just kind of goes like that. So if you kind of slack on your summer, then you might find yourself in a really hard position later on. And I do have friends who they were supposed to come to a market and then we don't see them there, a seasonal market, and we text them, where are you? And they say, I sold out. I couldn't come. So we do try to manage that. And most of it comes from being really diligent in the summer.
Yeah, that's really important because there's no better way to aggravate a market or event manager than to commit to being there and then sell out the week before and not be able to come.
Yeah, so that's a really good point. And I mean, for a baker or a farmer, it's not the same type of turnover of needing to produce and really stock up. So that's a good point.
Longer lead time.
So before you were in farmers markets, what was your relationship to farmers markets? Did you attend them as a shopper, or like were they on your radar at all?
This has been kind of one of the really interesting things about listening to your podcast is that it has changed my perspective and also being in this space. Because I always before just thought that they were really cute. You know,
they are cute.
They're cute.
That's not all they are.
Yeah.
But I'd stop in when I would see one, just like if I'd be out and about and be like, oh, look, a farmer's market. But now I've definitely shifted my perspective to see like the value that they bring to the community, how small businesses hold a community together, and then the importance of buying like local food too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm glad it's working.
We're going to take that little clip and share it on our market page.
That's right. All that
Yeah,
For all
I
our
mean,
shoppers.
I have prior to like when I was a vendor, I did like pop into the farmer's market here and there, but like once you see the behind the scenes, it does make you realize like, wow, this is a big thing. And then also when you start selling at a market, you're like, oh, wow, this is definitely like a viable business model. And I think that really opens your eyes to just like the value that markets bring. I mean, obviously we need those shoppers that are going to be there without knowing that. But I think that like that's part of the work that we do as vendors is like spread the word to our friends of telling people like, hey, this is more than just like a cute place to grab a pastry on a Saturday morning.
It's your grocery store.
It's
your
in the
grocery
street.
store, yes.
That's right.
Yeah, well, that's great that you have had that transformation or that paradigm shift of what markets can be. Sometimes farmers market communities, you know, or farmers market managers or kind of like really, really farm-centric markets, they can express mixed feelings about non-food vendors at their markets. So, like, have you experienced that in any of the markets that you've been at? Or, like, how do you win over participants at your markets? Like, what is your relationship like with farmers and the food vendors there?
Yeah, I have so many thoughts on this. I think most of the community recognizes that having a few non-food vendors is good for the market. As long as it's done well, as long as it's done intentionally, as long as it's done sparingly. So when we joined the Gilbert Farmers Market, we wanted to be very intentional about how we contributed and very mindful of how we fit in. So one of the first things that I did was I created a sticker sheet where the stickers were based on like the style of produce stickers. And people really loved them. And then at our first market, I went around and I handed out these mini sticker sheets to every vendor and I introduced ourselves, which helped us connect really quickly to all the vendors. So like we come bearing gifts is never a bad first step. And then later we brought in like clay earrings that we made, and we made those produce themed as well. So like little peach earrings or strawberry earrings or oranges. So things like that have kind of helped us fit in with like being at a farmer's market. We've also had the benefit of being a 2-person booth. So we try to make sure that like we're being good neighbors by like going to get breakfast from booths next to us when they can't leave their booth, or get coffee for them when they can't leave their booth. You know, we try to be really good friends, good neighbors. And I think that we've been really lucky with how we have felt loved and welcomed at the markets that we're in.
And it sounds like that luck may have come from some very intentional work.
Yeah.
Can I ask you three the same question? Like, what do you appreciate from non-food vendors?
One, that they are aware that the market is a farmer's market, and so farmers are probably going to take priority in our marketing and our presence and the things that we talk about. We look for non-food vendors that complement grocery shopping. So we would bring cards to a market where we keep jewelry and things and clothing to a minimum because it's more things that you would find in your grocery store. But any new vendor that brings breakfast to their fellow vendors, they're all right by us.
Yeah.
Non-food or not, anyone that can be a good neighbor like that, I think. And I like that you like you were conscious enough to realize like making produce earrings and the stickers and things like that. I think sometimes the non-food vendors that we get, it's like a real disconnect. Like they don't recognize that we're at a farmer's market where we're trying to be like, you know, have natural items or like local items. Like the fact that a lot of your items are like Gilbert or Arizona themed. I think that is just a tie-in to like we're selling local food that was grown here or food items that were made by people that live in this community. And these are these items that have a tie-in to your community and your state and where you're living. I think that's the whole gist of the farmers market. So I always appreciate that when farmers market vendors do that, or anything food related like cutting boards and dish towels and stuff. So.
Well, and I think it makes those non-food vendors more successful because we'll have people apply to sell beautiful fine art.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really sell very well at our farmers market unless it's beautiful fine art that seems to have a local bent. It's local landscapes or it's kind of a
saguaro.
food theme. Those sell really well at the market. Otherwise, I think people don't always see right at the beginning that we're not an art festival. We really are a farmers market, and that's what our customers are looking for.
I think, too, what's special about the farmers market is like a lot of, there are carrots and there are things that you've seen before, but there is something about like the artisan food and the non-food that I think should be like, I can't get this anywhere else.
Right. Yeah.
Or I have to go to a very specialty store to procure this. Mm-hmm. And I think that when non-food vendors sell stuff that is kind of, basic or something that you could get to your house on Amazon or you could pick up at the mall, it's not as special. And so when you're selling these items that are either so unique people have never seen them before or they're just very specialized, it makes it really brings something to the market. And I do think that price point too is kind of those little impulse buys, like when you're at the checkout and you're like, ooh, I need a card or I need a little gift or, I think that adds something too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that's...
Which it sounds like is a really great addition to the Gilbert market. And I'm so glad to hear that, we spoke with one of our crafters, one of our artisans, Jess, from Jess Makes Macrame a couple months ago. And she kind of reminds me of you in that she's like really sweet and really cheery. And like she's made BFFs with everybody next to her. And on either side of her are also crafters, but like they have this cute little hub of like just like non-food vendors. But I don't know. I think that is a big part of it too, just like making buddies at the market and making yourself part of the community, even if you're not a farmer.
Yeah, just like a joy to be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. So you, before our interview, you told us that you found professional success as a photographer and now at farmers markets by kind of standing out and doing things differently. I will tell you that passing out stickers and gifts to your fellow vendors the first day is doing things differently. We have not seen that happen much before. So aside from that, can you give us some other examples of how you kind of do things differently to stand out?
Yes. So right now we don't pay Instagram or Facebook for ads. We don't boost posts. We don't take out Google ads. All of our marketing is done by creating moments for people that make them feel seen or happy or valued, any of those things. So like when we think of branding or a brand, we think of like a logo and colors, but like with businesses that really stand out, a lot of people use like Disney as an example, or I use Taylor Swift. Like we think of the feeling that we get when we have an interaction with those brands. So we concentrate on a feeling. One of the things that we do is, do you guys get a lot of dogs at your...
Oh boy, sore point. We do get a lot of dogs, especially at our very large market. It's in a neighborhood that's very dog centric. Our health department would like to not see pets at the farmers market.
Oh God!
But we're on a city street, and so there's actually a law that says that we can't have pets at the market, but there's no enforcement capability in that law. The health department doesn't have jurisdiction over the general public. We certainly don't, and so yes, we see a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
Why do you ask?
It tends to be kind of a point of contention industry wide, where people love to bring their animals to the market, and it is very fun and it is very cute. But different areas and different jurisdictions have different rules about whether or not that's allowed or whether that should be encouraged.
And the customer base tends to be very divided. There are dog lovers that absolutely think they should be able to bring their dog. We regularly remind people that we're a grocery store, and if you wouldn't bring your dog to the grocery store, maybe it's not a good spot for them. And then there's customers that are very opposed to having dogs there, either because they think it's a hygienic issue or because, honestly, those long retractable leashes can be trip hazards in a busy market. So,
And the dogs get freaked out with all the smells and how busy it is. And then it's too hot on the pavement. So, it's a long
But some markets have
story.
like dog costume content. Some markets are very pro-dog and put dog photos on their Instagram. And so this is just kind of based on our experience, we get a little freaked out talking about
At every
dogs.
farmers market conference, there's a round table about market management that basically devolves into a dog argument.
This is wild.
You thought that was an innocent question, didn't you?
I thought that was a super innocent question. So that is kind of the really, really fun part about the podcast, though, is like all these things that you would have never thought of. So I guess Gilbert hasn't quite caught up to that because there are dogs everywhere and we all love it. But at our booth, we have dog treats. We have a bowl of water set out for dogs, which a lot of people do that. But we also have a teeny tiny, like 8-inch tall sandwich board for the dogs. It has a little dog on it, a little dog like that I drew with chalk, and it says "Come have some free water," and it encourages the dogs to come get water and treats. It's so ridiculous, but people think it's hilarious that when everybody else has like a sandwich board for people, we have a sandwich board for dogs.
That is hilarious.
That is funny.
That's very cute.
A few months ago, we designed a sticker. It's a bottle of hot sauce, but it says Phoenix Extra Hot. And we happened to be back to back at the market with Big Reds, who is a hot sauce vendor. So we went and we gave them a couple of those stickers and they really loved them. They're not like big things. Like this can just be something creative and out of the ordinary, but they're unique and they're memorable and they're different. And we want people to think of those things when they think of us.
I love that.
It seems like you're really trying to just connect with every single person or animal that's at
or
the
dog
market. Or dog, yeah. And I think that's important. It's just about connection. That's what farmers markets are. And so as vendors, whether you're selling food or not, just making connections with everybody is, I think, the best thing you can do as a vendor and the most helpful thing. And it will translate into more sales because you'll get your fellow vendors to recommend your products to their customers. So I think the more vendors that recognize that, like the friendlier they are with their neighbors and their fellow vendors, that's a lot of cross-marketing that happens. Yeah. So it sounds like you're really doing it right, and I'm sure other vendors appreciate you and point their customers towards you.
And what I love about this is like it is something that I think like somebody that's worked in the farmers market for a long time that you seemingly picked up on like really quickly. It's about like picking up those little nuances from your shoppers. Like when you have a regular that orders the same thing every Saturday and you're like, okay, when Mr. Green comes, I'm already going to have 2 scones ready for him. And that makes such an impact just when that shopper shows up and you already have their little like regular order ready. So like just noticing little things about your market, like the fact that people bring dogs and it's really hot in Phoenix. And so having a bowl of water is a sweet little thing to do. And it just kind of sounds like you're a real good pal.
Yeah, right. Pal of the market.
And this fits into so that you seem to have a pillar of your business to create magic moments, right? So this all plays into the same sort of theme.
Yes. So it's honestly one of my favorite things to talk about. Back in 2016, I went to a photography conference and I saw a magician. They had like a cool magician there. His name was Jeff Kaler. And he said that after his shows, people often come up to him and ask him if he could teach them a magic trick. And after a while, he realized that they didn't want to learn a magic trick. They wanted to learn how to make somebody feel how he made them feel. And he outlined this philosophy of creating magic moments for people through your business, which is something that I had been doing for a long time, both in like my personal life and then also in my business. And I just never had a name or like a structure for it. So I immediately connected to what he was saying and I ran with it. And I actually have one for you 3 right now.
It's true.
What?
I have a magic moment from Denise.
An actual item?
A magic
moment? Oh my gosh!
Now I kind of wish our podcast was video.
Okay, so we're opening a box right now that Denise sent to us.
You each have one.
Oh. There's a box that says Justine.
Oh my God, how cute. It's like
there's a box
in, like,
that says
calligraphy.
Bridget with her name spelled correctly.
Oh
Can
my
you believe
goodness.
it?
Is that magic in and of itself?
It is.
magic.
And so's the fact that the one that says cat has 2 T's. So we all have boxes. This is amazing. Who knew we could accomplish this?
This is like
via
already really magic, and it's just a box.
Zoom? It is magic. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Live unboxing.
Live unboxing. Do you hear that? Audio unboxing. I think this is going to start a whole new trend.
In my mind, I'm really scared that this part is going to be so boring to listen to. So just imagine it's really exciting.
Really
Oh my
Earrings.
gosh.
Oh, we have strawberry and flower earrings that are adorable. If anybody's ever
Very
met me at the
cute.
conference, you know that I'm all about the earrings, and especially the fruit earrings. And adorable Arizona citrus orange enamel pins. They are the cutest. We will be wearing these at the conference. Do not have a
Very
single moment's
fresh.
doubt about that.
Oh my
The
gosh, I
cutest.
love it so much.
Oh, wait, there's more.
Oh,
Wait.
Oh my goodness, this keeps going.
Oh.
It's like
An
Christmas
Arizona
morning.
sticker sheet.
Oh my god, this is so cute. This is what she was talking about with the fruit stickers.
Yeah.
Oh,
sweet. They do
yeah.
look like little produce labels. Yes, they're
Cute.
absolutely
Little produce
adorable.
labels.
So cute. I'm kind of feeling like Click Boom is going to need a booth at the conference to
Oh my
sell
gosh.
these adorable things to market managers to take home to their
I love
markets.
it.
Ooh, and that, how old did you say that letterpress machine is that you use?
It's from 1899.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
So it's
impressed.
operated via foot pedal. We hand mix our inks, and then it has like a big, beautiful flywheel, and you like have to, stomp your foot on the little pedal to get it to go.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, look,
is
and there's a little
gorgeous.
picture of it on the back.
Yeah, a little picture of the printing press. It's such a beautiful letterpress card.
That is
I'm
beautiful.
so excited. This
I love
is
these
a
stickers.
magic
There's a
moment.
prickly pear. There's a saguaro sticker. That's my
Ah.
tattoo.
Oh, matches Bridget's tattoo. That's right. Okay.
I love this.
I do feel magicized.
All right. Every
This is a
future
magic
guest
moment.
on Tent Talk, we should
Yes,
require
yeah.
all the future guests. They have to send
You
us a
can
little
always
gift.
send us presents.
That's right. I believe Denise has set a new bar.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow, it already worked.
Yeah.
Hard
See?
to beat.
And I know where I'll be going next time I head to the Gilbert Farmers
I
Market.
know. I'm going to
because
be in Arizona soon.
She gave me a good feeling, creating those feelings. That's the thing.
That's right.
Thank you so much. That was
Yeah,
amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm glad you liked it.
So we were going to
That was
ask
fun.
you if you think magic moments have more of a return on investment than other modes of marketing, and just off the hip, I'm going to say yes. But what have you found about that, and how do you measure the success of those magic moments?
It is harder to measure, like for sure. You don't have like a Facebook dashboard to tell you. So a lot of it is just really the feeling of being genuine and the feeling of being authentic and the feeling of building on relationships and trusting that it will be brought back to you. This like philosophy might not be for everyone. So maybe it's just our personal belief that like one person being impacted by these thoughtful moments is worth, 100 people seeing an ad on their Instagram stories.
Yeah, I think so too. And really that's the whole basis of why we think farmers markets are important. It makes the farmers more financially sustainable, but it also develops relationships between people and the people who produce their food or their sticker sheets or any of the
Yeah.
items that they use in life. It's those relationships that markets are built on. It's why we get kind of up in arms when somebody says, look, it's an online farmer's market. Well, no, it's not, because it's missing the relationships. A farmer's market is a person-to-person kind of thing.
Yeah, my husband is a musician, and we talk about this philosophy a lot of it. Like, would you rather have 1,000 fans that will listen to your songs a couple of times, or 100 fans that will show up to your shows and buy all your merch? And it's kind of
Absolutely.
like a similar thing of, your influence may be a smaller circle, but it's much stronger. It's less diluted.
It's those
and
raving fans that
Yeah,
count. I don't know if that's
those,
Seth
like-
Godin or somebody that says, that's who you really want
Yeah.
to keep in your corner.
Yeah.
But it's also that they're going to be bringing people. Now they feel inspired to tell all their friends, you have to check out. Just like when we see a really good movie and we go and tell all our friends, you have to see it. It's that same enthusiastic kind of like there's word of mouth and then there's like really enthusiastic word of mouth.
For
Yeah,
sure.
having an experience, I think, just enhances that.
Huge difference. So do you have ideas about how other farmers market vendors or market managers who aren't artists can implement this idea? How do they create magic moments in their market days?
I think it is important to like know yourself here. So for me, my mind always goes to gift giving because that's who I am. But not everybody's going to be that way. I do remember hearing from back in my wedding days, like from a makeup artist who said that her love language was acts of service. So when she went to go and do a bride's makeup, she would spritz some like calming essential oil spray in the air. And she would bring like a cold compress for the bride to like hold on her wrist that was like scented. And it was just like those little things. I also remember I did go to a farmer's market in New York once, and it was so cool. But there was this vendor who made like lavender everything. She made lavender soaps, lavender lotion. And everybody who came to her booth, she gave them a little sprig of lavender. And it's like, okay, there's no way that I'm not buying something from her. That's so special. It's like so romantic. I also have a friend, her name is Madeline. She's with, she does soap. So she's Naked Fig Soaps. And she talks on her Instagram about like the processes that she uses and the ingredients. And she posts photos of like the local goats that she sources the milk from. And it just makes you want to be a part of what she's doing. So I feel like produce vendors, can do a lot more of that. Like I'm only now just learning about like the chemical profiles in produce that make up like the taste of a fruit or vegetable. And it explains so much about why like produce from a small local farm tastes so much better than grocery store produce. And just like knowing these things makes you want to invest and support in these local growers.
I like what you said about love languages. I feel like that can translate well into like, not everyone is a gift giver. Not everyone sometimes giving gifts for some people might make them feel awkward or like bashful, or it's not the way that they like to express themselves. But, most people at the market are creative or like have they're little entrepreneurs. Like, of course they have ways that they can express themselves. And for a farmer, it might just be like, we have all these little characters. Like it might just be telling a joke or saying hi to somebody, or depending on your market, petting a dog, or like
a citrus farmer that always has citrus puns on their chalkboard.
Yeah, or that gentleman that Sarah Marshall told us about, Marvin, that always wears a different shirt,
fruit or vegetable shirt.
Like that is his magic moment. Like everybody has a way to do that. Mm-hmm. And yours is gift giving, but everybody can find a way to do that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So my dentist has. Next to their desk, they have kind of like a little joke board. And most recently I went in and it was one of those little flossers, like the little plastic flossies. Mm-hmm. And it said, just do it, because it looked like the Nike swoosh. So like, it's really just that you want to create a feeling and whatever your way of doing that is, of creating like a feeling of charm or whimsy or like romance that makes a person want to come back and spend more time with you. It's just, you just have to know yourself and know how you do that. And like you said, like wearing a ridiculous like graphic t-shirt on produce every week is so perfect.
It is. It catches the attention. So it's been so interesting to talk to you. You have such wonderful ideas about marketing. We appreciate it. We certainly appreciate the magic moments you brought to us here in our podcast pod. But just so to wrap up here, have you found ways to make magic moments happen when you're not selling in person? Is there a way this can be scalable? And where do you see the future of Click Boom?
One of the things that we do is on Instagram, every time we hit a new 100 followers, we give away a special edition sticker that we don't sell anywhere to a follower.
Oh, sweet.
It's fun. It shows gratitude that we feel. And then it means that all of our followers are always in a perpetual giveaway. Because our shop is centered around local landmarks, we share the history and the stories of those landmarks. So like people get to learn more. And it, in and of itself, that's something that we do online, and it gives people a feeling of like intrigue about where they live, which we really like, knowing the stories and the histories about the landmarks that we create from. We also believe in magic moments for I call them frienders. I don't know if you've heard that, like vendor friends, but frienders.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, it's so cute.
I like it.
I like that.
For our fellow frienders, we do a series of small business features where we will visit the studio of like a maker and see them in action and do like a Q&A. We also, at our market, we started going around to booths and asking if they could recommend an item at the market that isn't theirs. What would they recommend to someone to try? And that's been really fun and really great to not only like build community and like spread love, but also to help people find like that new favorite thing. There are these spicy pickles at our market that I would have never thought to try, but now I'm obsessed. There are a lot of times that people just don't know how game-changing farmers market food is. So this like series that we've been doing, they kind of, help people to build community, give people an opportunity, and then also help to tell like what great things there are at the market.
That's amazing.
So just things like that we think count as magic moment marketing.
Gonna need some of those spicy pickles next time I'm in town.
Spicy pickles and another enamel pin. I think perhaps the Gilbert Water Tower. Well, we will be checking back in with you. I feel like Click Boom has a bright and sparkly and magic future.
Magical future.
So
I can see
we
it.
will be checking with you, Denise, to see what's next. Keep thriving at the market. Keep making those magic moments. And thank you for bringing a magic moment to us today.
Thank you so much.
Well, come say hi when we're in town too.
Okay, I look forward to it.
All right. Thanks, Denise.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening today, and big thanks to Square for helping farmers market participants and managers increase the income and reduce the stress at farmers markets, and for supporting Tent Talk, the Farmers Market podcast. To sign up for easy credit card processing on site at markets and simple invoicing back at your desk, just click the Square logo on the resource page at farmersmarketpros.com.
Farmers markets are all about connection, and all of us, operators, farmers, and vendors, keep learning. Connect with people just like you from various parts of the country and share what's happening in your area in the terrific conversations over in our private Facebook group, the Farmers Market Pros Community. If you're actively involved in a farmers market, please find us there, answer the 3 qualifying questions, and join the group. You can also message us on Instagram at Farmers Market Pros or email us at connect@farmersmarketpros.com. If you're looking for further education, check out our online course offerings at farmersmarketpros.com. Thanks for listening to Tent Talk. Please leave us a review on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you access your podcasts, and tell us and others how you're enjoying Tent Talk. And be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss the next episode. Tent Talk, the Farmers Market podcast, is proudly produced by Farmers Market Pros, where passion meets profit. Today's episode was recorded and edited by Justine Marzoni Mead. Original music by David Mead. Thank you so much for listening today, and we'll have another great episode next week, so tune in.